When a black professor tweeted that he wants white people to die and supports fighting white people, concerned individuals notified his university. However, instead of firing or even punishing him, the campus administration insists that he did nothing wrong. For Ramia Saif Frimpong, every discrepancy within minority communities can be reduced to racial inequality, namely the oppression of white people. Additionally, he has been afforded a gratifying platform to spew this racial propaganda and spread the idea of victim superiority at the University of Georgia, convincing young people that a certain race of people is inherently racist and, therefore, evil. The Yuga teaching assistant, who has compared himself to historical black activists fighting for civil rights and his perceived oppression to that of those living under Jim Crow legislation, has relentlessly preached that whites are the enemies of non-whites and thusly the cause of the majority of their community's problems. However, he has since escalated the demagoguery from his pulpit, advocating that some white people may have to die for black communities to be made whole in this struggle to advance to freedom. Fighting white people is a skill, Asaf Frimpong tweeted. Really, it's one reason I'm in support of integrated schools. You have to get used to fighting white people. Arami Asaf Frimpong, who utilizes social media to regurgitate exhausted racist supremacist talking points, ignorantly chalked up the black population's disproportionate crime rate to patriarchal oppression and systematic racism. Asaf Frimpong proceeded to quote clinical psychologist Bobby Wright, who said blacks kill blacks because they have never been trained to kill whites. While most people would see this as racial supremacism and incitement of racial violence, the University of Georgia disagrees. In fact, the Yuga administration not only refused to even chastise Asaf Frimpong for such rhetoric, but unbelievably defended the very nature of his bigoted and inflammatory speech. Instead of reprimanding Asaf Frimpong or even denouncing his racist rhetoric and distancing the university's name from the promotion of white genocide, Yuga administrators defended his call for the death of white people. According to Campus Reform, United Campus Workers of Georgia penned a letter endorsed by 9 Yuga faculty members, which included professors, teaching assistants, and administrators. They then presented the letter directly to Yuga President Jair Moorhead. We write to address the university's response, which has come perilously close to caving to an outside organization's attempt to squelch academic freedom at Yuga, the union said, referencing Campus Reform, which broke the story as the outside organization. It noted that, unless Yuga workers can rely on our administration to support us, academic freedom does not exist. Campus Reform first reported on Asaf Frimpong's disturbing rants after he compared Southern whites to autistic kids and sociopaths. His rhetoric became so outrageous and extreme that he was even banned from Facebook for a post demanding that we have to dismantle the institutions that make crappy white people. Although Yuga maintains that views expressed by students, faculty, and staff in their personal capacities do not reflect the views of the university, the administrators involved have made it their mission to stand by this particular teacher's comments. Unfortunately for the university administration, they quickly learned that the vast majority of their donors and benefactors are members of the same demographic that Asaf Frimpong is attacking. After hearing the professor's comments, individuals began threatening to cut off donations to the school. This immediately caught the attention of the Yuga staff. After donors began backing away, Yuga announced that it was checking with the Office of the Attorney General regarding what actions we can legally consider in accordance with the First Amendment. Of course, this was all a ruse to keep their benefactors. The union admitted that it will continue to support the teacher because of apparent racism that took place on the school's campus some years ago. Asaf Frimpong will continue to spew his racist and violent rhetoric, calling for the mass slaughter of white people by minorities. He will go on indoctrinating America's youths, convincing them that, although they live in the most privileged and freest society in history, they are victims. The university's response proves that we are living in an era in which certain groups may disparage and discriminate against other groups solely based on skin color. Until we voice our opposition to this unveiled racism, we will see it continue to fester on campuses. Thank you for watching this fantastic story. Please tap one of the 2 videos on your screen for another amazing Wonder Stories.